Hi everyone, this is Elizabeth with 217 Creations, and I'm here today to share with you how to do a resist technique on this tag that I used right here. And the stamps I'm using today are going to be from Pink by Design. And as most of you know, they are my favorite stamps. I absolutely love them. The one in particular I'm working with is a new backgrounder called Gears. And what we're going to do is start with a number 8 manila craft tag, and these are from Ranger. And so I'm going to start with one of these, and what I'm going to do, as you can see I've already done, is I'm going to dab my background stamp with paint dabbers. These are from Ranger, and the color I'm using is called Snowcap. And what's really cool about these is you don't have to put too much pressure, and the paint kind of lightly stipples itself onto your stamps or whatever else you're putting it on. It's a fantastic product. I absolutely love them. And so I'm going to just give this a nice generous covering. Now if you've never used Pink by Design background stamps, they are tileable, which means that the tops and the bottoms line up and the left and the right lines up. So they're really easy to cover large areas. So I'm going to start here at the top, give it a nice press. And I'm going to pull that away. You can see the image kind of pop in there. And because we stamped and we've lost some of that ink, of course, we're going to go back in and reapply the paint dabber onto the stamp. And acrylic paint just washes off a stamp. So when I'm done here, I'm just going to go run this under some warm water with some dish soap, and it'll pull it off. If I have anything left, sometimes I'll take a little old toothbrush and scrub it, or you can use StazOn. I'll take it off too. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my stamp, and it's going to be hard for you to see how I do that, but I find where the stamp matches to the top from where I stamped on the bottom. I'm going to give that a nice press and pull it off. And this paint dries relatively fast. The top is almost dry, but you can kind of see. I'm trying to rotate a little bit. You can kind of see it. There it is. Okay, so you're going to hear my heat gun. I'm going to give this a little blast of heat. If I was just working normally, I'd go and find something else to work on and let this dry. But because we're on a video, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some heat. Very gently. Okay, give that a second to cool. Now, in order to color the background, you could do this a number of ways. The way I did it was using distress stains, and in this particular tag, I used peeled paint, wild honey, and antique linen. Now, distress stains are a lot like distress inks. They kind of work the same way. They're kind of the same little monster. You can add water to them and they react. They're really easy to work with, and they blend with one another very nicely. But I'm going to do a slightly different color combination here because I'm still learning and playing with these. So the ones I think I'm going to work with are going to be weathered wood, fired brick, and then a little antique linen. So, because I haven't got to play with these colors yet, so I'm kind of excited to see what they'll look like. And so I'm just going to take them and give a little swishing. And these have that same kind of fabric top. Oops, see, that one I haven't even started yet. That the dabbers have. Let's take a little antique linen. This is my favorite color. I use it on everything. Okay, so I've got my colors on there. Now, just like distress inks, distress stains react with water. So what I'm going to do from here is give this a little spritz of water. The more water you add, the more it's going to bleed, and the more the paper is going to start to break down. But that's what gives this really, really cool texture that you see on these tags. So, and you can already see the paper reacting with the water. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually crumple it up. And you can crinkle again if you want to, just as many times as you want. The paper will start to break down eventually, but I kind of like it where it starts to feel a little bit like fabric, like cloth. And usually it takes 2 or 3 times kind of working that paper to get that effect. But you can see how the stamp just pops right out from underneath that. I feel like this area needs a little bit of something, so I think what I'm going to do is add just a tiny, tiny bit of this peeled paint right here on the sides. And this is what's fun about distress stains and distress inks, is you can just kind of play with them and get it the way you want it. There's no right or wrong way when it comes to applying those inks, and oh, I like that much better, I think. Maybe just a pinch more of that weathered wood. So see, you're getting to see kind of the method to my madness, how I do this. And I'm just a very patient person when it comes to this, so it doesn't bother me if I have to do this a couple times to get it just the way that I want. There we go. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay, so there it is. Isn't that easy? And the really cool thing about it is that because this paint dauber doesn't put a really heavy raised paint onto the paper, you can still stamp on top of this. It's a relatively smooth surface, just like I did here. This image stamp is also from Pink by Design, and it's called Ahooga, A-H-O-O-G-A. I'm trying to get used to saying it. But that one is a new one also, and that's what I did here. On the top here, the sentiment says, "Baby, you can drive my car," and this is from a new sentiment set called Ticket to Ride. And the little top notes that you see here that I've stacked are actually cut from my Imagine, and at every 0.2 inches is how I ended up doing that to get them to stack like that. And the paper it's printed on is actually printed from the Imagine, and that is Vintage Damask is what I ended up using with that one. So this tag is on my blog if you want to take a look at it in more detail, and I'll have all those stamp sets written out there. But this is what I really wanted to show you in the video today, was how to work with distress stains and using your background stamps. And as always, I appreciate comments, subscribers, and followers. I would encourage you to please check out Stamps.MP4. There's a blog, there's a community, and as well as the store to go shopping. And the prices are fabulous, the quality is great. So once again, as always, have a great day, and thanks again for watching my videos. Bye-bye.